I thought I could come up with something clever for the intro, but no, I really couldn't. So instead, I'm just going to do the whole Black Adam, Dwayne The Rock Johnson death stare type thing and see how that goes for me. Am I doing it? Does it look good? No, I probably look constipated. Look, we're just going to move on to the review. Black Adam. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, this is my review for Black Adam, starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Pierce Brosnan, Aldous Hodge, and Noah Centineo, and was directed by Jamie Colette Serra. And our story follows the anti-hero Black Adam, who has been risen after 5,000 years of imprisonment, or he's been in his tomb. He's finally been awoken, and now the Justice Society of America has to go to wherever his location is and figure out what line really between hero and villain does he actually stand on, because there's been so many rumors as to why this man was being imprisoned in the first place, because his powers have just been absolutely outlandish to the point where he can just destroy anybody and kill a relentless amount of people, and he is hell-bent on killing people. So that's what our plot basically follows. If we can make Black Adam the hero or the villain, and we're supposed to find that out. And look, the story is not too complex here. It's not very complicated. It presents to itself a very basic premise. Like, we have this person who has been risen after so many years with godlike powers, and nobody knows whose side he's on. So this team of superheroes has to be sent to this location to figure out what this guy is, like whose side is he actually on. Now, the funny thing about it is, and the way I actually love how his origin story is told, when the people who like go to release him from his tomb, they see him as this champion who, after all these years, will rise again and free them from the enslavement that their country has gone through. So they see him as a hero, period, no matter how his matters of justice come forth. They don't care if he kills, they don't care how he gets it done, as long as justice is brought to their country. That's all they care about. But of course, that's not how the superhero world works, or at least that's not how, everybody else in the superhero world works. They need justice to be done a whole different way. And I like how this movie kind of dives into the fact where the people who raised Black Adam from the dead, or from his tomb, they actually want him to, just do whatever. They want him to kill. It's cool because they praise him. They literally praise him for killing a soldier in the movie, and they actually get upset when the superheroes or Hawkman saves one of them. It's like, it's drawing the line between like what's good and what's actually bad, or, how these people see what's good and what's bad. Like, they don't see the superheroes and see somebody good. They see Black Adam and see their savior. And honestly, guys, look, the good in this movie is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. There's good in this movie and there's bad, but I'm going to get into the good because the good for me outweighs the bad. Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Black Adam is absolutely phenomenal, man. I mean, this dude was born to play Black Adam, a guy with Superman-esque powers who has lightning and is just hell-bent on killing people as far as his justice standpoint goes, and I loved every part of that. Like, Dwayne The Rock Johnson killed it as Black Adam. Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, though, was the humongous standout amongst the entire movie. He was my favorite part of the movie. He brought a whole different element to this movie, and honestly, I was afraid that, he may have too many similarities to Doctor Strange. No, they're two different characters completely. They have two different swaggers, two different charismas about themselves, man. I mean, like, Pierce Brosnan really killed this role, man. I mean, he was absolutely phenomenal. And also the other members of the Justice Society as well. Hawkman, Aldous Hodge. I was actually thoroughly surprised that I enjoyed Hawkman, because Hawkman's powers are ass. But no, in the movie, he was really cool. Noah Centineo as Atom Smasher. I thought he was phenomenal. Cyclone, I think her name, the actress's name is like Quintessa something. I don't know her name completely, but she played Cyclone. I'm going to get to her in a second. I do have to remove her from being the best parts of the movie because there's something I strictly did not like about her character having to be done over and over again, but I'll get to that in a little bit. As far as the good goes, guys, the action sequences are out of this world, just bonkers. Look, you honestly could have named this movie Fast and Furious Presents Black Adam with the most over-the-top stuff that they are going for in this film. This movie, just from beginning to literally from the time that Black Adam is risen out of his tomb, you are in for the most ridiculous joyride of your life. And honestly, it's like the people who are leaving this movie. And like I said, there's definitely bad in this movie. So like, I can understand if people are like upset about some stuff happening. I'll get to the bad. But as far as the good goes in this movie, when I'm going into Black Adam and I see that Dwayne The Rock Johnson is casted as, Black Adam, our main star, our main superhero here, I'm not going in expecting a movie with complex stories, complex characters, or anything like that, like trying to actually make a cinematic masterpiece here. No, I'm expecting a summer blockbuster, and that's what I get here. I get Dwayne The Rock Johnson with godlike abilities. He has lightning. He's killing people. He's doing there's a bunch of ridiculous slow motion kills going on, and honestly, some of the action sequences make for replicas of like the Call of Duty commercials where people are running through the halls and just doing whatever and making all celebrity cameos. Like that movie, this movie really reflects a lot of that, but it's so much outlandish fun that I can't deny that I had a good time. Like seriously, like it's just an absolute blast. Like you have a lot of fun with these characters, and it's crazy because what they do with Black Adam once he arrives, you're already like getting a lot more excited to see the other characters come into the film, because what they do with Black Adam's powers is so spectacular. They make everybody's powers so much fun to watch in this movie, like, except for Cyclone, and I'll get to her when I get to her. But Atom Smasher, Hawkman, Dr. Fate, I love them so much. Like I said, Dr. Fate was a huge standout. The action sequences are amazing. I really like the way they told Black Adam's origin story in this movie, essentially like the way they told it, because at first he's portrayed to be this champion and you're seeing him in a certain light, but as the movie, as the movie continues and you start to actually figure out what his origin is, you really start to actually figure out like why there's such a divided line between if he's a hero or a villain, and it actually makes for a really good compelling story, or at least not even compelling. It makes for a good story for this movie. Like, this movie doesn't need a very complex story. I don't need, like, crazy details or crazy in-depth characters. I don't need that. I just need Black Adam. I just need Black Adam to do Black Adam things, and that's what I'm getting in this movie. But there is okay, it's not a lot of bad, but there is bad in this movie, and it definitely stands out. So I'm going to get to that right now. All right, so as far as the bad goes in this movie, look, I'm going to start with the length or the runtime of this film. It's way too long. This movie pushes the runtime for at least like 20 to 25 minutes. There's a whole extra fight scene in there between Hawkman and Black Adam that really didn't need to be there. It's just unnecessary. It's really pushing the runtime way too long. Like, this movie, you can definitely feel the lengths of this movie, man. Like I said, it's only like 2 hours and 4 minutes, but like the fact that this movie takes place in one setting, it's like a Transformers movie. It's like if you've seen any Transformers movie, you know that for a majority of the runtime, you're setting up the plot, doing different things, but once we get to the finale, you are stuck in that finale for at least like the last hour 20, hour 35, however much long the movie has. You're stuck in that finale for a very long time, and that's actually the majority of Black Adam. We are only in one setting for the entirety of the movie, so it feels like we've been here forever, which we have, because we haven't gone anywhere. This movie takes place in one spot, so it's not going anywhere. The Justice Society are coming to Black Adam. Black Adam can only be in one place, which is his hometown. I can't remember what the name of the country is, but it's only in one place, and it makes the movie feel so long. Another thing I have a problem with, the slow motion. Look, DC, I understand that you guys think slow-mo makes for like the coolest effects in the world. I understand that you guys think that for whatever reason, slow-mo makes everything a lot better. The slow-mo was cool at first. Like I said, when Black Adam first gets introduced, they do this one little action sequence where he's doing slow-mo. It's almost like Quicksilver, in a sense, from Days of Future Past. Like, Dwayne The Rock Johnson's literally just going through slow motion, like, setting things up for everybody to explode. And that was really cool. But after some point in the movie, like, as we go along throughout the movie, it gets redundant. It just gets repetitive, and it kind of gets boring and just very over the top after a while. Like, I just start to roll my eyes at all the slow motion going on. Everything didn't need slow motion in this movie. Speaking of the slow motion, that's where the Cyclone character comes into effect, because all of her powers required slow motion. I didn't understand that. Like I said, I enjoyed the Justice Society of America. I thought their powers were really displayed very cool. I thought they were a very good addition to the film. The Cyclone character herself, though, the only time I could see her actually using her powers is if she's going in slow motion. Like, that's the only thing. Like, you can just see the tornado, and then they do a slow-mo shot of her throwing something out of the tornado. And that was her powers the entire film. I thought that was just dumb. I didn't enjoy her powers at all, really. Like I said, her powers could have been done a lot better. The slow motion was just very unnecessary. Didn't really, understand the purpose of that at all. Like I said, the fight scenes are, while entertaining, they do get redundant and repetitive after a certain time. It's honestly like they're music video fight scenes, because they use Kanye West's power in one of the fight scenes, which of course no one man should have all that power. It's Black Adam. Yeah, that relates to the film, but it's like the music video fight scenes, they just become a lot. They just become repetitive, and like I said, the movie is taking place in one spot the entire time, so it feels like we've been here forever, which you have. If you're only in one spot the entire time, it's like you're not going anywhere, but a whole bunch of stuff is happening, and it kind of becomes chaotic after a while. But like I said, I didn't come here for a very complex story. What I got in total, so this is basically my overall, guys, what I'm getting from this movie is just straight entertainment, like straight fun, a summer blockbuster. I'm not really asking for much more. I didn't expect much more from this movie. I didn't expect anything, you know, out of the box. I mean, well, all the action sequences are out of the box. They're out of this world. But I mean, like, it could be a good and a bad thing. The final battle, I'm not sure if like they lost budget on the CGI demon that they were supposed to fight at the end of this thing. I'm not sure if the budget just got continuously lower as we got throughout the movie, because I'm sure the first like hour and 40 minutes of this movie probably cost like $1 billion, but as whatever they were fighting at the end, the CGI was kind of bad on that demon. But overall, guys, look, it's a very entertaining film. I thoroughly enjoyed Black Adam. I'm not asking for a very compelling story here, not with any complex characters. I'm not asking for anything in depth. I'm not asking for anything too complicated. This is a very simple plot, a very simple premise, and honestly, it's a big mind-blowing action film. That's all I can ask for Black Adam. I'm not asking for much more. I don't need much more from Black Adam. I literally walked in satisfied. I didn't walk in satisfied, but I walked in expecting a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson franchise Viagra action spectacular. That's literally what I left with. It's like that episode of Fairly Odd Parents where Timmy was watching the action movie and his life became one. That's literally what you get throughout this entire movie. You're just watching a big action spectacular bonanza. It's just going crazy from beginning to end, and it has its flaws, but all movies do. Not all movies, but DC movies, they're gonna have their flaws. But this one, man, it was thoroughly entertaining for me, and for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to give Black Adam a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Okay, one thing I do have to address DC for, and granted, I'm going to give a minor spoiler warning here, although they already spoiled this before the movie even came out. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was basically blushing and gushing over this news before the movie even came out in all the pre-movie interviews. So if you've been paying attention to those, you know what I'm about to allude to, but if not, there's a minor spoiling warning here. Why did DC decide to spoil Superman? I like, do you not think Henry Cavill's return as Superman is something that fans would want to be surprised about? Why are we spoiling that? See, this is where DC loses me with stuff like this. They want to make a big statement that they want to change. They want to do a change in direction. They want to make a change in leadership, and they want to go in a better direction for their franchise. But then they just end up spoiling things like this. Like, fans would go like, if Henry Cavill's appearance in this movie was a surprise for me, I would have been knocked out of my socks. I probably would have gave this movie a 4. Probably not. Probably like a 3.75 or something like that. But either way, it would have made like for a better experience. The fact that I knew it was already coming and I'm just waiting, I already know what the end credit scene is. It kind of, you know, it was good for, like, you know, confirmation purposes, but it just really didn't make any sense. I don't know why DC had to spoil Superman, but anyway. Black Adam, guys, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Be sure to leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Look, more content coming to you soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is your guy in the chair. Thank you so much.